Hi guys, this is Nanesai from Momo Hates You. Would you take a look at what landed on our server? I know I had my hopes completely crushed when it was confirmed that the Frozen Collab wasn't coming to our server, but the devs really pulled through for us and made it happen. Pavilions are simple enough, right? You pull and you get an item. But with this collab, you can just click the pull button. You need to buy your tries here. In theory, this is great because it keeps you from overspending. But because you can input the amount manually, you need to be careful and double check the amount before clicking confirm to avoid any disasters. With an average cost of 6,668 diamonds, this pavilion is by no means cheap. You can still get it for less, it does happen, but the minimum completion price for the suits is 5,650 diamonds. And if you're really unlucky, the cost can get closer to 8,000 diamonds. I say suit completion price because this pavilion comes with the rewards shop. There's an assortment of items here, but the ones that most players are aiming for are the backgrounds, that cost each 12 suit tokens and 60 duplicate tokens. Since the value of duplicates ranges from 3 tokens to 5 tokens for the most common items, one background will cost you between 3,200 diamonds to 3,425 diamonds, and both backgrounds will cost you at least 5,650 diamonds, which is the minimum to complete this pavilion. So if these items interest you, but you got your suits for less than 6,000 diamonds, depending on the value of your duplicates, you might have to do some extra pulls. Unfortunately, this format doesn't really reward lucky players. With that, it's finally time to pull, and I thought we could do a little experiment. A while back, I shared how I usually do my pavilions, by stopping and exiting the pavilion window for a few minutes or maybe more. And someone asked me if anyone had actually tested this theory to see if it helps to complete pavilions. Well, I'm just one person, so you can't exactly write a full report with my data alone, but we can still take some conclusions. With this pavilion, the pity timer information is written down in the rules, so you can rest easy that it actually exists because I know some of you had your doubts. It doesn't activate until the 26th pull, so I'll do the first 26 pulls without stopping before I start my usual MO of taking breaks or stopping when the pavilion isn't going my way. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going ahead and buying 26 pulls before I do 6 pulls individually, and then I do 2 pulls of 10 because I noticed on the previous Barbie pavilion that it does pay off to do your pulls in bulk. Oh, but it hurts seeing 25,000 diamonds like that. It hurts. But I know I have to do it, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, I'm feeling extremely lucky right now. I can't believe the amount of items I got with just 26 pulls. Like I said, I noticed that doing pulls in bulk seems to help, and right now I think that's the case because I can't believe I'm almost through with Elsa with just 26 pulls. But I know it's not going to be this easy to finish the pavilion. I know it. I know it won't. But I'm going to do what I promised, and I'm going to take a break, and I'll do my pulls in a couple of minutes. I'm going to take a small Kit Kat break. Okay, my break was actually a little over an hour, You don't need to be away for that long, but I figured why not just go ahead and do some things around the house, and I came back now and my PT timer has just activated. In case you're wondering, there's no issue with starting and stopping during the event. It doesn't affect your PT timer. The only issue is when the event ends. This one in particular is not returning, but with the ones that do return, the PT timer is void. But during the event, you can do this as much as you want and it won't affect your PT timer. So now I'm going to go ahead and buy 10 more poles. Okay, a few new items from the Anna suit, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to buy another 10, maybe 20. Okay, so I intended to make a little break, maybe 5 minutes, but it wound up being a lot longer than that, maybe 15 minutes, because I didn't notice that I was recording with my audio off. So I had to start over, but it's okay, I did promise you breaks. So I'm currently at 46 poles, and as you can see, I'm 3 items away from completing the pavilion. I have 2 accessories left, one from each suit, and Anna's post dress. That's the items I need to pull. I should also mention that I'm doing this on the 3rd day of the pavilion. I really don't like to do my pulls on the first day, and I usually wait until the midway point during the events. This one actually runs for 10 days, so this is not really the midway point, but I usually wait until the 3rd, maybe the 4th day, because I noticed with past pavilions that they tend to be a little bit more generous during these days. And so far it seems I'm right. So far it's going very well for me. And now I have 2 choices. I can buy individual pulls, or I can keep buying the 10 pulls in bulk. The only con I can see in this is perhaps overspending, but it seems to be safer to keep buying in bulk. So I'm going ahead and buying just 10, and we'll see after that if I still need to buy any more pulls. I don't know if I should laugh or cry because I have 1 item left, and oh my god, I honestly was not expecting this to go so well. And oh my god, I have 1 item left. Should I do 10 pulls? It seems a little bit like overkill to do 10 pulls, and I'm pretty lucky so far. I'm at 56 pulls. I'm under budget right now. Do I want to do 10 pulls? Oh my god. I'm going to take another break. So see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, again, so it's been more than 2 minutes, obviously, but I was actually taking some advice on Discord, and they were right. I was completely forgetting about the PT timer, which says that I have 1 new item every 4 items, and there's really no need for me to overspend by 1,000. That's just crazy. That was me. I was too excited. I still am. So I'm going to stick with individual pulls, and let's see how that goes. Did you see that? I mean, you saw that, but did you see that? Did you see just how lucky that was? On my 57th pull, I got my last item. I was debating whether or not to get 10 poles just to be safe, and with one pole I got exactly what I needed. So that means that I finished this pavilion with 57 poles, or 5,650 diamonds, the absolute minimum needed to finish the pavilion. This is a first. This is actually a first for me. I had pavilions go well, but never this well, so I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked. So after that, I had to take a couple of minutes just to calm myself down because I was so excited. I still kind of am, but a little bit less. And I went over all of the recordings just to see the polls, all of them, and write them down to see if the PT timer worked as the rules say, with one new item every 4 polls. Because as you might recall from the beginning of this video, I said that we were going to have a little experiment to see if taking a break would help me with the pavilion or not. So these are the results. So for my first 26 polls, I only had 8 duplicates overall, which is extremely lucky, but it doesn't really count for this little experiment because my PT timer wasn't active. So after my PT timer became active, I took a 1-hour break. I completely exited the pavilion window and shut down my phone. After that, I came back, did 10 more polls, and I had 2 duplicates, a new item, 3 duplicates, a new item, 2 duplicates, and another new item. Then I did 10 more polls and I had the same results. 2 duplicates, a new item, 3 duplicates, a new item, 2 duplicates, and again a new item. So the PT timer is working perfectly, even better than what the rules say. Again, I took a break. I decided to take another 20 minutes, 30 minutes break. And again, I exited completely from the pavilion window. After that, I came back and did 10 more polls and got 3 duplicates, a new item, another 2 duplicates, a new item, and 3 more duplicates. After that, I took another 5-minute break. This time I didn't exit the window, but I exited the app. And I came back and did my last pull and received a new item. So, did my breaks help to finish the pavilion faster? That is the question. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm just one person, so I can't take my results and apply them to everyone on the server. But do I really think that taking breaks helped me to finish the pavilion with the minimum of diamonds that I needed? Well, honestly I do, because this is the best result I ever had, and I took a lot of long breaks. So the only way that we can really see if this works is by a lot of people doing what I did and compiling the results. So maybe that's our next goal as a player base, to compile this type of data and see with proper math and all of that, if does it really help to take a lot of breaks during a pavilion, or is it really just confirmation bias? Okay, before we conclude this video by taking a look at these beautiful collab suits in the view mode, I still need to trade my tokens for the beautiful backgrounds in the reward shop. And I barely made it. If not by 8 little tiny tokens, I would be faced with a very difficult choice between the 2 backgrounds. So I was very lucky overall. I know most of you have already seen these suits, so I'll try to keep it brief. Else is actually the reason that this collab really appealed to me. I've been in love with her dress since I saw it in the movie, and I can't believe the amazing job that the artist did recreating it. The one con that I can see with this dress is actually one of the biggest pro as well, and it's the fact that it's a very recognizable outfit. But I think that with a little bit of time and a little bit of work, we can always dress our Nikki without thinking of Elsa every time we use it. Another good thing about this suit is the fact that the dress is wide enough around the legs to allow us to use any of the different skin colors that we want. This is where the game usually drops the ball, but not this time. No, this collab was too important. I know there was also a little bit of a scare with the bug in the animation, but as you can see, everything is super nice and super sparkly again, so if you haven't pulled already, you can do so without any fear that our version won't be as good as the shiny server version. With the post version, the thing that stands out the most is of course Elsa's height compared to our Nikki's normal height. But since she has a full outfit on, it honestly doesn't bother me much by itself. It does look slightly off with the ground item. Speaking of which, this is one of my favorite items in the suit, but if you didn't manage to pull it in the pavilion, don't worry because we already have a very similar item that you can craft in the game. I'm talking about the Ice Queen Snowflake, Radiance if I'm not mistaken. It's not very crystal-like, but it does glow. Now on to Anna's suit. And if you saw the movie, you probably noticed that the game took the most liberties with her suit because she didn't have as much embroidery or this fuzzy trim in the movie as she does in the game. This means that the boots have changed, the cape have changed, and the dress has changed. And it looks better than it did in the movie to me. It has a lot more detail and it's a lot more fun. One thing that certainly hasn't changed is Olaf. He looks so much like he does in the movies, I'm actually surprised. I saw pictures, but I didn't think it would look this similar in the game. I don't know why. He has a little bit of extra shading, but it looks really good. I don't know how much I'll actually use it, to be honest, but I like having this little guy with me. I also really like the snow. It's something that I've been wanting for months now because I only had one item with snow on the ground. So now I have two and I really like it. Just like Elsa, Anna also has a sparkly accessory. It's a little bit more subtle than Elsa's, but that's one of the reasons that I actually like it because Elsa's can be a little bit too much sometimes. So it's good to have Anna's to have an option of having a little bit of sparkle but not too much sparkle. If that makes any sense. It's finally time for Anna's pose dress. This is a very fun, very flirty kind of suit, so I only heard one complaint about it, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about her legs, her very long legs. How long are they? That long. So it's not an issue with the posed version. It actually looks proportionate with the posed dress, so don't worry. But it does look a little bit silly with the imposed version. It looks like she outgrew her dress. That's what it looks like. And I'm sure we can find some items that work with these legs. I'm just not sure that we can find a lot of them. You mostly have to do with skirts and dresses. I can't see shorts working that well with this item. Nevertheless, it's always good to have a new pair of legs in this game because it's a rare thing. The last thing I want to talk about is the accessories that we get from the reward shop along with the backgrounds. These windows right here. If you haven't seen these before, these are much bigger than they seem. For example, see, I can see anything. And with Anna's, it's not much better. You can only see a little bit of the flowers on the bottom. And this is not an issue with the background because I just got rid of the snow. So it's just the sheer size of these frames. You probably can only use these on Starry Corridor, and I'm not sure you can use these on the competition. But on free dressing, you just can't see them. They're beautiful, they have amazing colors and detail, but you need to scale them down by 40% or something like that to be able to see all the details. So these are two items that you can really use on a day-to-day basis. This brings us to the end of our video. If you still haven't finished the pavilion, or if you still haven't pulled, I wish you the best of luck. May the RNG gods be with you just like they were with me. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and if you'd like to see more content from Momo Hates You, remember to subscribe. You can also take a peek at our Instagram page for some guides, some highlights, and general Love Nikki goodness. I'll see you next time.